It's the Scotch Test Dummies.
What are you doing? We're going to be talking
about
the 12-year Cragganmore and a special guest. Let's test it.
Let's test it.
All right, Scotch Test Dummies. Bruno, who's our special guest?
It's your mom.
Bart's mom.
Bart's mom is here with us today.
So we had, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Be here.
Thank you, Bart's mom.
We've had Bruno's mom. She was a Scotch expert.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very well seasoned.
Yes, bottles and bottles of Scotch she had consumed.
Mercy.
Yeah, just that day. No, she'd never had Scotch before. Have you?
Neither have I.
Okay, you've never had Scotch. Are you at all nervous about the Scotch?
No.
No, not
I like
at all.
to try new things.
Excellent. All right. Well, this Cragganmore is one of my favorites. It's a Speyside Scotch. It's a region of Scotland. And this bottle is actually a gift from my mom and Bill, my stepdad, when you guys came back from Texas and Mexico area.
Mission, Texas. Mm-hmm.
Any questions, Bruno? This is your chance to ask my mom, Bart's mom, stuff about me that normally I wouldn't tell you.
Well, she said that she's not afraid to try new things. Are you a drinker?
No, I'm not.
Anything in particular? I mean, wine,
I just
champagne?
like dry wine.
Dry wine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever had whiskey, Jack Daniels?
I had a mint julep just.
Mint julep.
Yes, when we watched the races last week.
Okay. And what did you think of that?
It was wonderful.
Good. Okay. Now, also, this is the bottle we have referred to that does not have really good packaging with it. And when you drop these on concrete...
These boxes are not Cragganmore. Stiffen your box. This is basically what happened to me when I was carrying it. It pinched, and the bottle fell out of this cavernous hole.
Shoot.
Yeah.
No, it stayed in it.
No.
And it hit the ground.
Yeah,
And then,
well, it pinched at the neck.
Yeah.
And the whole thing fell.
All that happened, and we bought it in Mexico.
Yes.
Crossed the border, and nothing happened to it. And I was being very careful. We wanted a nice box for you because it was a gift for the family.
Yes. You guys are much treated. I was walking out of Bruno's house and I dropped a bottle on the concrete.
my dad had brought it back from the good liquor store, and Bart came over, paid him for it, walked out, and dropped it in the driveway.
And
so it wasn't
smelled
this.
delicious. Absolutely
It
no. Now I carry bottles like of Cragganmore with two hands.
But yes, a $75 bottle of Cragganmore in the driveway.
Right down the driveway. My favorite, the bottom. It
So
hit.
you smelt the cement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I go. He was standing there in shock, and I said, "Oh, it smells so good."
It was.
We have a
painful.
picture. Bart will insert the picture.
Picture inserting.
Well, it's a reenactment.
Right.
You can
reenactment, picture inserting.
Yes.
No. And you're seeing the pain.
Oh.
You're seeing Bruno create a reenactment of.
Oh.
It is a reenactment, but it is the bottle with the box. If you notice, the seal
Mom's
is
feeling
still
the pain.
on.
We're
Yeah,
back on that.
$80 all over the cement.
Yeah, it was like throwing $80 to the wind and just saying, "There you go," for a smell. It was a good smell. All right, we're giving you a little bit now. With Scotch, Mom, there's a couple things you want to do, which Bruno, maybe I'll have Bruno explain it even. One, this is a nosing glass, so you're going to be able to nose it. Now we're going to add some water. Some people drink it neat. Sometimes we like it neat. Yes.
What's nosing?
Nosing is simply smelling it. Do you want to?
I'm going to try it neat.
Okay, he's going to try it
first.
neat. Nosing is just smelling it. So go ahead and pick up your glass. It's kind of got a tulip shape. All right, and you can swirl it around a little bit. The water and the swirling is going to allow the mixture. And then just using a nostril, you want to come in and just gently sniff from a distance. Don't go too far in because the alcohol could get you. All right, and then next time you're going to want to come in again, sniff with the other nostril, and you can bring it a little closer.
Now, Richard Patterson says you talk to it.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
See, I can
How are
smell
you?
the fruit.
There you go. So you smell the
you're
fruit.
beautiful.
Right, there you go. Perfect. So you smell the fruit in it.
Now, they say by swirling it around that it distributes the Scotch on the glass and helps with the aroma because it's spread it out basically over a larger area.
So you got fruit. Did you get anything else? There is a citrusy kind of aroma. I also get,
A bit of
what else?
wood.
Wood, yep, some of the wood smell. And I get, with Cragganmore, I get a hint of a sweetness and almost like a cinnamon. It makes the back of my taste buds, I almost get a hint of cinnamon in it.
I can't smell cinnamon.
When you sip it, you're going to want to take a little bit into your mouth, hold it in there a little bit, move it around on your tongue, back of your tongue, let it sit on the palate a little bit, and then kind of breathe in, and then you can just sip a little bit of it down, and you should even get a little bit of an aftertaste from Scotch, and it might transition from one flavor to another for you. So if we want to try it, Bruno, you tried it neat. What did you think about it?
I did try it. This was one of the first Scotches we had, and to me it is still one of the smoothest. Best. Definitely the fruit, the cinnamon. You do notice the cinnamon. I got it. And the oak. That was the first time I had it neat. And I saw it's 40%.
Now, what are your thoughts?
Well,
You don't get cinnamon?
I don't get cinnamon.
Well, that's right.
I get tears.
Okay, tears.
But it tastes surprisingly better than I thought it would.
Okay, so you thought it was going to be harsher.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's still strong.
Pleasant to the senses, even though it makes my eyes water because I'm not used to it.
Do you want a little bit more water? Sometimes you can dilute down. The purists don't want to dilute.
I don't think so.
Okay, you don't want any more? Sometimes people will dilute just a little bit more if the alcohol is getting to you. So now you can smell it again, and you can get it a little bit closer this time, and just take a gentle sniff, see what you can get out of it. I'm definitely getting some floral notes. Cragganmore for me is just very smooth, and it's got a very gentle aftertaste that just slightly kind of transitions, and then it goes real soft and feathery as it ends for me. Some of the stronger scotches will have an aftertaste that can last almost a minute, and they're really strong. Everything for me with Cragganmore is a soft, gentle flavor. And then the smells, it just smells delicious to me.
I was starting to say I seen it was 40. Cragganmore is 40% alcohol, which is a little bit less than some. Most come in about 45, 46%. The stronger that alcohol is, the more that it burns. So when you add the water, it dilutes it and brings that alcohol content down to 30%, 35%, makes it more palatable.
So if it were burning, that's what I'd want to do. But it's not burning now after that first swallow. And actually, I can smell it more when I'm swallowing, it seems, than when now that I've had some.
Right. As you get some, that first swallow, and when you inhale, it'll help it, right? And then you should also get a certain Scotch will give you a mouth feel where you can kind of feel it on your mouth. And Cragganmore does a real good job, almost like if it coats your mouth a little bit.
So this would be a good thing for me because I do everything kind of fast and it slows life down a bit, and then you learn to appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, you saw, this is, if I'm having a drink at night, if I get home from work, the amount I poured here is about, maybe a little bit more. I might do a finger of Scotch, and that's exactly what I'll do. The kids will be asleep. I may just be working on writing an article or something, and I'll pour a glass, and I'll smell it and sniff it for quite some time, and then it's a sipping whiskey. So you're sipping it in, and you're just enjoying the transition of flavors, and it's definitely something for me that is a calming. Just the practice of drinking it is even calming. I'm not breaking out a blender and chucking a bunch of ice in, brain freeze. I'm drinking too much of my margarita.
But you're also talking this drink here at nighttime when you're sitting there, last you 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
Yes, and again, the smells are as important really as the taste, and then the transitioning of the taste.
See, I'm a coffee drinker, and that's true for me.
Yeah, actually, Bruno got me into coffees and teas, And there's even a lot of the blenders of the different types of coffees and teas and scotches where there's master blenders that can come in, and that's kind of, it's very similar in terms of what they're doing.
So that's what I need to think about when I have scotch.
Yeah, and this is a 12-year bottle, so it's been aged in a cask for 12 years. So that's aged and imparted some of the tannins from the wood and the flavors and things. So it really brings a nice history that you're consuming. So
now, how about any peat or any smoky? Do you get in there? It's supposed to be a little bit on the finish. If it is, it's very faint.
I mean, when it's a very, very soft, slight smokiness that you might get at the end. And I'm a big fan of the smoke, but this one's a really light in there. So it just has the presence of it, which is one of the reasons I like it so much. And it was my first favorite scotch. And I think it's because when I was new to scotch, it was gentle to me. Mm-hmm. So there was nothing about it that was slapping me around or, overpowering me. So that's why I've always enjoyed it. And it's a good single malt. So
this was the one we had referred to our boss as well. That was in the office one day, and he was wanting to know a couple different.
It's a great starter scotch if someone's just, because I don't want to scare them away, and I'll oftentimes reference this if they're just saying, hey, I want to try a scotch for the first time.
So would it be a good woman's drink? Because I always heard a good woman's scotch. Yeah. Because I always heard that scotch was a guy's drink, And I think.
And that's moving away. We've got a lot of fans on Twitter that are women that actually engage with us a lot. By the way, go to Twitter. Please subscribe. Put comments in the links. But I believe for exactly the reason you're talking about, there's a lot of women, especially with things like Starbucks coming out, that are understanding or getting into, not understanding, but getting into the different flavors of the beverage. And there's so many flavors of the scotch that, and even the mode in which you drink it, that, there's a lot of women that are enjoying scotch. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely not just a man's drink.
Now, as a woman, and especially as a person who doesn't drink very much, and also a little sideline, the family always jokes, don't give mom anything to drink. She smells it, and she's...
I might have referenced that in his mom's video. Go see his mom's video, and we mentioned that you have agreed to try, and I was somewhat nervous that you would be like, woo, I'm already intoxicated.
No, I don't feel that way.
Okay, very good.
That's the Glenlivet. Go check out the Glenlivet.
The Glenlivet, special guest. Yes, and the special guest. So, any final thoughts, Mom?
Well, what's the secret that this isn't making me lightheaded? Because it isn't.
I don't know. The amount we poured you is probably equivalent to a glass of wine. So you haven't finished it yet. Mm-hmm. You've taken in a small amount. It is a slow sipping. It's not, you're not, it's not like a beer drinker that's throwing down a whole can of beer, but it does have the same amount of alcohol as a glass of wine or a bottle of beer.
Probably a glass or two of wine,
maybe
in there.
So,
yes.
But I don't know. I was curious to see. I mean, and I'll put it in the show notes if it has an effect on Mom later.
Okay. Is it because
she does have a designated driver?
Bill.
We'll
check with Bill.
I do.
Yes.
Is it because it's a finer scotch that it?
I don't know. I mean, it's a very good scotch.
I think so.
But the alcohol content is really what's going to usually have the effect in terms of an intoxicating flavor. But I rarely do I get intoxicated on scotch. One, it's an expensive way if you're just planning on getting drunk. Two, I love the flavors and the smells. It's not about how much can I consume. It's literally about enjoying what I'm consuming. So it's never, to me, about volume. It's literally about enjoying what is in this glass. So, cool. All right, Scotch Test Dummies. And Bart's mom.
Yep. Scott, Bart,
Karen.
Bart's mom.
Bart's mom. All right. See you guys later, Scotch Test Dummies. Salancha is a Scottish toast.
Salancha.
And then you have to take it.
To my heritage.
Right. There you go. Yeah, Scotch Irish.
You made your son about 7 inches too tall.
It's so bad.
I see myself in here and I'm like a hobbit, like a little dwarf guy right next to him. There's this much difference in us.
He's a little tiny guy.